Alright, it's me again, Tor here, Appalachian Grit. I'm going to address something that I've seen I've gotten in questions, and I've had comments, and not just on the YouTube, but in person, other believers over the years, really. Why did I do all of this? Why is my life the way that it is? Why do I live out where I am? And obviously, sorry people, flies. You got livestock, you got flies, and now with the fire going in here, it's warm enough, these things are coming back to life. Bear with me. Somebody said to me once, or asked me, like, aren't you just running away from the world where you could be useful in doing this and that? And it's like, no, I'm not running away from the world. I'm separating. I'm being set apart from the world as we're told to. And I'm following what he's teaching me to be. And if he calls me out of the wilderness at some point to go back into the world, then that's where I go. But at this point, there's enough. I mean, really, what good could I be doing? Am I going to go be a street preacher? Folks, that doesn't work. It's just a mockery of the faith. No offense to you street preachers. I'm sure you intend to do good. But you just look bad. And we're not supposed to be casting pearls before swine, folks. Remember that. All right? Lest they turn around and gore you. And trust me, I am the king of casting pearls before swine. That's how I've destroyed a lot of my relationships. Not a lot, but plenty of them. Because I was doing that when I first started coming into faith again, for real. I was overly eager and not mature enough in the walk. I've had to learn these things. And I've also heard, well, what kind of good works are you doing? What good works can I do? I do a good work. I do all the things that are commanded me. Every chance I get. Like, there's things that, it's everyday things that we're commanded to do, folks. How we treat our neighbor. How we treat the stranger, our neighbors, but the stranger, even our enemies. You know what happens? Like, there are a lot of things that if I was a worldly man, I would have done different, like I used to be. And I was kind of a beast. And if somebody ever stole my dog, dude, that's a $3,300 dog, and that was years ago. He's a Kangal. Somebody stole my Kangal puppy. And I know who did it. And these son of a bitches use him for fighting. That burned me up, man. And I wanted to go scorched earth on their ass. But I also knew of the witches in the area. And I knew damn well it was a trap. And just the spirit in me, and from the examples set throughout like the earlier few years that led up to me leaving where I was to come to where I am now, the fowler's snare, son. This is why I say Satan's MO never changes. Anyways, I was trying to stick on to, like, no, I'm not running away from the world, people. I believe the word's written. I believe there's a path set for the righteous and elect, and the ones that are holy means to be set apart, to come out of her. And it doesn't mean I can't go in. Like, I do good wherever my Father wills it, but I don't go before the Lord. The Lord goes before me. I follow. He's not my genie and not my servant. I'm the servant. If he wants me somewhere, he'll send me somewhere. If he needs me to do something, I'll do it. Every chance I get, I always help my neighbor. All right? Every chance I get, I help the stranger. Like, those things you're commanded to do. Going above and beyond is not going to get you into the kingdom. These are the things people say, like, well, somebody asked me, why don't you go walk around like healing people or casting out demons? That's not my calling to do. I'm not saying I couldn't do it. I don't know. All I know is witches hate me, and these things that go bump in the night, which are evil of some sort, and the shades, the shedim, which are evil, they're demons, they flee from me. Now, there was a time in my occult past where they would climb toward me. And they used to scare the crap out of me. But now I know what they are. I know how they operate. I know what authority they have to operate under. And I know what authority they don't have to operate under. So I know whom I serve. As long as I abide in him, I'm walking around with the armor of God. And I do the works that my Father commands me to do. Okay? Just like Christ, just like the apostles, just like the prophets before them. We do what we're commanded. We don't just go willy-nilly. You can't just be rogue prophets out there. That's fake and gay. That's not the method. That's not the precedent. If he ever calls me to go do this, I don't know if he wants to work through me like that. I'm not a good preacher. I'm not going to start a ministry. You may think, oh, I'm ministry. Dude, I am just a guy in the wilderness, man, trying to talk common sense and bring functionality back to the faith. I've lived a hard life. I've stepped out in faith. I've proven his promises to be real, and I want to get that across to you. It's just a testimony channel, I guess. I can give you a lot of other insight. If you like the off-grid Appalachian grit style, I'll get into it. If the internet ever comes back for me, you never know. Otherwise, I'll see your happy ass in the kingdom. But my intention for coming out was, I used to be in the world. You can watch my other videos. Yeah, some of them are voiceovers, but it's still my scripts. I wrote it. My testimonies. I was a geologist in the oil fields, and I had a good career. I was advising billionaires, making real good money, had a whole future plan, owned properties, so on and so forth. Then I came across God and his covenant, started keeping it, and everything changed. And it's once I started keeping the commandments that the world turned on me. And I'm not joking with you, folks. That's the only differentiating factor between me and the average Christian, is that I took the word seriously, and when I read it without all the man-made fluff, it was clear to me that is for us to keep. Everywhere he says, keep it. I didn't come to banish or abolish it. People, get away from these man-made churches. They were created or infiltrated to make you lawless for the lawless ones coming. And I think that time is upon us. So you're already prepped and you're primed and ready. Getting back to it. I stepped out of the world, separated from all of the evils in society, to try to be holy unto him, to live a holy, wholesome life. Sorry, people. It's not like I have professional lighting here. Anyways. I'm just in a cabin in the woods. I call it my powerhouse. So, is what it is. But just to follow him, when I read scripture, I see the examples that are pleasing to God, and it's a simple, honest life, a meek humbleness that's close to the earth, close to God's ways, close to his seasons and his times, his appointed times. Harvests and reapings, and plantings and plowing and seasonal rains. Like, it's just a wholesome life that he requires of us, that's pleasing to him. That's what I sought, and I did it. My intention for buying so much acreage, if that's what, because somebody asked me about that. My ultimate intention was for things to go different, was to have a family. I wanted to have children and build a family farm or homestead. And then eventually, because 200 acres is a lot, and I'm surrounded by millions more of nothing and nobody. I mean, my nearest neighbor's miles and miles away, and there's no main road for miles and miles and miles away. There's no towns, no nothing where I'm at. I mean, they'll call it a town on a map, but it's maybe a post office if you're lucky, and it's probably closed down or only open like one day a week for like 3 hours. Anyways, you got to go quite a ways. Nearest hospital is very far. Nearest like big city, there's no big cities near me. Hundreds of miles, no big cities. What they're called, the nearest cities, which are more like towns, because I grew up in New England, they're like towns. Okay, they're just towns. They're like suburbia, okay, with maybe a few buildings. That's it. You know what I mean? You'll get your occasional Walmart here or there. Fast food like plazas, but nowhere near me. You got to go quite a ways for that. Anyways, I wanted to come out here to do the thing that I just said. And then ultimately is to basically, I don't know, have community here to build up, like my own family community. Hopefully, like maybe some friends or like people that I learned to fellowship with, which I've never had fellowship in my walk. I've yearned for it, prayed for it. He just saw fit not to give it to me. Okay? And same thing with a wife and family. He saw fit to take that from me. And if he ever gives it, I relate to Job. If you know the book of Job, all of my friends are dead. I mean, families betrayed me, and I've never done them wrong. And that's the thing. People try and kill me for my faith still. I've dealt with that in other testimonies. But community, I wanted to create a community. Ideally, I'd love to have other like family-oriented, true Bible-believing believers that are honoring God's ways, walking in them, to homestead here. Imagine like hundreds of acres. Every person gets, I don't know, 15, 25 acres. You got little cottages and your own little homestead fenced off, and then all the common land is used to run like cattle, and you have silvo pastures and orchards, and it's like a living, thriving, functioning like food forest for like grazing animals, but also you have apple trees and nut trees and berry bushes and, you know, beautiful grass. You have ponds and streams that you build, roads you can walk by, all fenced off with guard dogs keeping the riffraff at bay. You know, every man is armed and knows how to use it. Like, it's a functional place, man. That's what I want to build. I just don't see how I could do such a thing in a world today. You know, there's some people that do stuff like that, and good on them, but I don't get into some of the stuff that they do. I think they go a little overboard, especially the black Hebrew Israelites crap. Folks, I'm not going to get into it. I try to stay away from the racial stuff, but yes, I've got my damn opinions, and they're not opinions. There's factual things that everybody seems to ignore here. Okay? And no, black Hebrew Israelites, stop it. Stop it. You people are way too loud and so ignorant. Anyways, but some of the stuff you guys are doing, like the communities, black only for the most part, or some, I don't know, whatever, who else wants to yoke themselves to that kind of stuff. But a lie is a lie regardless, and I won't be a part of it. But I like the idea of something like that. I can't remember the name of their ministries or whatnot. Nothing against them, just nope. I want to do it sincerely and leave that kind of crap away from the thing. And no, I'm not getting into it. I'm trying not to get into the weeds here because my channel, I already talk about fake Jews pretending to be God's people, and Christians believe in it. And that's just, it's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, Scripture defines who's who and what's what and the purpose of it all. But yeah, I don't know. Is that ever going to happen? Probably not. Probably not. You know, who knows? I don't know. It's in my Father's hands. That's all I can tell you. And that's really all your life is either. Like, you just need to step out in faith and see where He leads. And we're supposed to accept our lot. And trust me, I rebelled against Him most of my life, and I've always had that rebellious, angry attitude. If you can't tell, I'm a lot more mature than that now. I can laugh at things that are hard. I can get punched in the face and be best friends with you just a second later. Just if you try and do it again, you're about to get clapped yourself pretty damn hard. But, you know what I mean? I can take a few punches without having to punch back now. Before, it would have been war. You know, even the smell of it, I was on you. You know what I mean? And I don't mean just that like physically. I mean with anything. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of hills that I used to stand on and would be willing to die for. I'm not willing to die on those hills anymore. There's the true path, and that's it. Sincere, meek, humble life, close to God in the land. That's really all you could ask for. So anyways, if you have questions or you want specifics, and don't get into the race bait and shit. Maybe I'll do a private video for you and I'll tell you what I really think if you want it. But I don't want to get into it. I mean, no, I want to, but I'm not going to. Not here, at least. Maybe I'll do a Rumble or something channel where I could talk freely. I mean, I'm trying not to say a lot, but it is what it is. Anyways, tell me what you think about my dream or vision, if that sounds nice to you. And no, I don't mean a hippie commune. That would be stupid, fake and gay. I can imagine. Nope, just people doing the same thing in proximity, having fellowship. You know what I mean? All on the same page, just mutual benefit. You know, you hold the common things in common. And you take care of yourself and your family. That would be a good community. You know, men working together for mutual protection, women working together to textiles and harvest and do this type of stuff. You know, cook and take care of children together. Have Sabbath fellowships. Have a hall or something. I don't know. Or just go to each other's houses like it used to be. Like the underground church. How it used to really be. That's how I think church ought to be. It's not a building somewhere. It's where 2 or 3 are gathered in His name. Truly. Anyways, I think I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully the internet comes back for me soon so I could send these to you. Because I've talked about a lot of stuff over these last going on 3 days. Anyways, this may be it for the night, maybe not be. We'll see you later.